Welcome back to PC Police Chase. Buckle up because this isn't casual entertainment. These are real chases. No script, no actors, no retakes. Only speed, split-second decisions, and irreversible consequences. Things escalate so quickly you'll be asking yourself, did this really happen? If you're ready for a breathtaking journey to the very last second, let's begin now. On the 24th of April, 2026, in the Brooklyn area and along Highway 18, the Arkansas State Police, in coordination with local law enforcement, launched a search for a fugitive suspect. Upon being spotted, the individual not only refused to comply with orders to stop, but instead floored the accelerator, speeding away at high velocity, triggering a dangerous pursuit that extended from the city streets directly onto the highway, where any misstep could carry grave consequences. As the pursuit reached National Highway 18, the situation escalated to an extremely dangerous level. The yellow 2005 Chevy Silverado was not only traveling at speeds of approximately 180 miles per hour, but it also veered directly into the oncoming lane. The suspect utilized the left shoulder to overtake oncoming vehicles, forcing numerous motorists to execute emergency maneuvers to avoid head-on collisions. This was no longer a standard police chase, it was a situation where a fatal accident could occur at any second. The chase ended in the worst possible way. The Silverado slammed into the rear of one vehicle, then collided with a second car right at an intersection. Following the chain collision, the truck came to a halt, heavily damaged. Police immediately swarmed the scene, drawing their weapons and ordering the driver to exit, but the suspect initially remained barricaded inside the cab, creating a tense standoff that lasted several minutes before he finally surrendered.
What's the door open? What's the door open? What's the door open there? Okay, put the door open there. Put both hands out the window. Okay, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Don't take on me. Nothing on me. Hey, get on the phone. Hey, this is over the walk up. Dad, keep your hands up. Keep them out of the truck. Get out of the truck. Okay, keep your hands up.
Upon being pulled from the vehicle and subdued, the suspect repeatedly complained of injuries and exhibited signs of incoherent speech. While being handcuffed, he admitted to having done something stupid and alluded to being under the influence of drugs. Meanwhile, authorities had to manage a chaotic scene involving numerous innocent victims caught up in the collisions. After undergoing a medical examination, the suspect was taken into custody and now faces a series of serious charges, including fleeing and evading arrest, as well as aggravated assault for causing accidents during the pursuit. A chase had come to an end, yet the consequences extended far beyond the suspect alone. Following his arrest, the narrative shifted toward the psychological realm, as the suspect displayed signs of losing control and admitted to his wrongful actions while in an altered state. And most notably, the repercussions were not confined to the suspect, but rippled outward to affect many other victims, rendering this incident a far more potent cautionary tale than any ordinary police chase. On the 21st of April 2026, at approximately 12 p.m. in the Brooklyn area of Arkansas, Arkansas State Police received a call from the Brooklyn Police Department requesting assistance in locating a suspect who had fled from local law enforcement. Minutes after police spotted him, the suspect, driving a white pickup truck, sped away from the city center, triggering a high-speed chase that quickly spread along Highway 18. As they exited Highway 18 eastbound, the situation became extremely dangerous. The Silverado wasn't just traveling at around 80 miles per hour, it was plowing into a village at an unbelievable speed, even using the left shoulder to weave through oncoming traffic. Dashcam footage shows multiple drivers swerving to avoid a head-on collision. This wasn't just a hit and run, it was a situation that could have resulted in mass casualties at any moment.
Bad Rick. Gonna be walnut. Turn over. Fire.
The chase ended in a way no one could have predicted: a chaotic, violent, and haunting conclusion at what seemed like an ordinary intersection. The pickup truck, after recklessly accelerating to 130 miles per hour, sped like an uncontrolled arrow, disregarding all stop signals and imminent danger. The roaring engine ripped through the air, tires screeching on the pavement as the driver desperately tried to escape. But then, in an instant, everything collapsed. From another direction, an unrelated vehicle suddenly appeared. No time to react, no chance to evade. The collision was devastating. The pickup truck was struck head-on from the side, spinning out of control before deforming into a pile of scrap metal. Debris scattered across the road, smoke, dust, and deafening crash creating utter chaos. In a matter of seconds, the high-speed chase turned into a horrific accident scene, where every wrong decision had a costly outcome. Following the violent collision, the scene was quickly cordoned off, and the victims were taken to the hospital. The suspect, though injured, remained conscious and confessed that he panicked and recklessly fled the scene, leading to the serious accident. Criminally, he faces several serious charges, including resisting arrest and dangerous driving resulting in a serious accident. Given the severity of the offenses, the suspect is likely to face imprisonment. The incident concluded with devastating consequences, a heavy price to pay for recklessness and loss of control. On the 21st of September 2024, in the area of Airport Boulevard and North W Street in Escambia County, Florida, a patrol officer spotted a blue Nissan Altima with Tennessee license plates that had over-tinted window film. However, just as the officer was about to turn around to check the vehicle, the driver unexpectedly ran a red light and sped away, turning a minor traffic violation into a high-speed chase through multiple city streets. The most frightening aspect of the incident wasn't just the speed exceeding 100 miles per hour, but the fact that the suspect maintained that speed right in the middle of busy intersections. The Nissan repeatedly sped through red lights, stop signs, and 30 miles per hour zones at nearly 3 times the permitted speed. At the intersection of US 29 and Pace Boulevard, the vehicle narrowly avoided a head-on collision with an innocent civilian, a moment that showed this escape went far beyond the usual level of fleeing from the police. As the car sped down Highway 29, a large plastic bag was unexpectedly thrown from the passenger side window. Officers immediately marked the location and resumed the pursuit. Just minutes later, the chase ended when the driver attempted to weave between multiple vehicles on the narrow 2-lane highway, resulting in a series of collisions before the Nissan veered off the road near a house on East Hernandez Street. Following the violent collision, both individuals remained trapped inside the vehicle due to the completely deformed doors. Police had to pull them out through the shattered windows. The evidence that had been thrown out earlier was quickly recovered. It contained 335 grams of marijuana, fentanyl, and cocaine, all of which tested positive for drugs in a preliminary drug test. The driver, Antonio Lamar Smith, along with passenger Tariq Jameel Watson, was subsequently taken into custody and faced a series of serious charges, including aggravated fleeing the scene, fentanyl trafficking, and possession of a prohibited substance. A chase that began from the rear window of a speeding vehicle ultimately led to a felony drug case in Escambia County. In an incident that occurred in the Little Rock area of Arkansas, local police pursued a heavily damaged black Nissan Altima after the driver repeatedly sped through several inner-city streets. The chase lasted approximately 17 minutes, passing through areas such as Woodrow and Wright, while local units maintained a pursuit and attempted to control the situation without resorting to forceful intervention. The remarkable aspect of this case isn't the high speed or the major accident, but the transition between law enforcement agencies. For most of the chase, local police maintained a safe distance and closely followed the severely dilapidated Altima. However, everything changed the moment Arkansas State Police appeared behind the vehicle. From the moment the ASP patrol car pulled alongside, everything happened at an almost unbelievable speed. No delay, just a decisive decision. A short, precise impact to the rear of the Nissan Altima caused the car to lose control instantly. On the dash cam, the vehicle swerved, skidded sideways, and came to a complete stop in just a few seconds. The scene concluded swiftly, within about 8 seconds of the ASP's direct intervention, quick, efficient, and giving the suspect no further opportunity.
Hey, reach out with your left hand, over your sleeve. You might get out of there.
Let me go. I got him. You got extra pair of gloves.
Yeah, I got it. Got it. Yep.
Literally. No, it's here, man. You got it. What's your first name? Hey. What's your first name?
We'll figure it out anyway. Been drinking tonight? No.
Hey, you might run here, my computer shut down.
So right now, I need to check both of you off the warrants. I'll do my sergeant. He's driving. You in the cop. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep it. Oh, you skip sergeant? What are you doing?
No,
I thought it was
Harmon's out here.
Okay. Sergeant, off wings.
Yes, sir. Nah, me.
Notably, in this incident, immediately after the Altima was disabled, the suspect showed virtually no signs of resistance. Instead of fleeing, he quickly complied with orders and was apprehended on the spot. Meanwhile, the heavily damaged Nissan was completely immobilized. The incident also highlights a stark difference in approach. Local forces prioritize safe pursuit in urban areas, while Arkansas State Police are trained to quickly resolve situations with decisive interventions. On the 8th of April, 2026, in Texarkana, Arkansas, an Arkansas State Police officer conducting traffic control duties spotted a gray Honda Accord with a driver not wearing a seatbelt. Initially, The vehicle slowed down as if preparing to pull over for a check, but just seconds later, the driver suddenly accelerated and sped away, turning a minor traffic violation into a dangerous chase through the city streets. The remarkable aspect of this incident is that the entire chaos began because of an unfastened seatbelt. In a 30 miles per hour zone, the Honda repeatedly ran red lights and stop signs, accelerating to 8,100 miles per hour. Dashcam footage captured numerous moments of the vehicle speeding through busy intersections in extremely tight spaces, nearly causing a series of collisions. While fleeing, the suspect even threw marijuana out of the car to destroy evidence.
Arkansas County. On foot. Come back with that. Here we go.
A violent incident occurred at an intersection when the suspect continued to run red lights and repeatedly crashed into two other vehicles. Following the violent collisions, at least one innocent civilian was injured and required EMS transport. But even after the accident, the suspect did not stop. The driver abandoned the wrecked Honda and sped into a nearby parking lot, triggering a tense on-the-ground chase between Arkansas State Police officers.
Don't come over here. Hey, bro, you gotta hurt me, bro. Lean over the car. Gosh, hey, chill out. You're done. It's over. Stop. Hey, stop the car. Stop. No, we're on my back seat. I'm gonna carry you if you don't walk. What you say, bro? You got me. Hey, you gotta hurt me. You gotta rid of some pain. 25 more back seat. You ain't going anywhere. Thank you. You got my hurt. Just back way. All right, back up. Come on, bro. It's gonna be uncomfortable unless you just comply, okay? You need to sit down. We're gonna sit like this.
As officers approached to subdue him, suspect Leighton Moore unexpectedly reached for his waistband, creating a tense moment as the possibility of him being armed arose. However, after repeated loud commands from the police, Moore finally lay down and was handcuffed. Even after his arrest, the suspect continued to resist during a search, and police discovered additional marijuana concealed on his person. Subsequent investigation confirmed that the Honda Accord had been stolen without the owner's permission. What started as a simple seatbelt violation quickly escalated into a series of serious criminal charges involving fleeing the scene, drugs, causing an accident, and driving a vehicle illegally. On the 21st of March 2023, a deputy sheriff with the Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office spotted a black SUV traveling northbound on Highway 26 with suspicious signs of drug use. When officers signaled the driver to stop, the driver refused to comply and sped away, initiating a multi-county chase in Wisconsin. This operation was unusual because of the suspect's almost uncontrollable stubbornness. The SUV rapidly accelerated to around 120 miles per hour, forcing officers to deploy a flat tire in the Forest Avenue area. But incredibly, even with both front tires completely deflated, the driver didn't slow down. He continued speeding at nearly 80 miles per hour through Rosendale, despite the vehicle becoming severely unstable. As it entered Winnebago County, the vehicle was practically skidding on its metal rims, sparks flying, the body shaking violently as if about to break apart, yet it was still being forced forward. A frantic escape screen appeared, where all physical limitations seemed to have been completely abandoned. After a chase spanning over 24 miles, multiple units quickly deployed a cordon, tightening their grip on every direction to cut off all escape routes. Patrol vehicles simultaneously closed in, forming a tight control circle. At this point, the vehicle was almost incapable of maintaining stability. The body shook violently, steering wobbled, and speed began to spiral out of control. Any attempt to continue fleeing only pushed the situation closer to a dangerous end, and even with a flat tire, he still risked it. After a chase of over 24 miles, the coordinated units quickly tightened the cordon, blocking all escape routes. Completely losing control, the SUV veered into a ditch while attempting to break through. Officers immediately moved in, weapons at hand, quickly pulled the driver out and apprehended him at the scene. A subsequent search revealed the motive behind the reckless escape. Approximately 1 pound of methamphetamine, cocaine, and a large amount of cash were found inside the vehicle. Investigations revealed the 26-year-old driver from Oshkosh was wanted for felony crimes in Virginia and was also on probation in Wisconsin with multiple prior convictions for drug and weapons offenses. A single failure to stop ultimately exposed an entire trans-state criminal record. On the 27th of March, 2026, in Arkansas State Police tracked a lumber truck after the suspect failed to stop. From the outset, the operation was notable for an unusual detail. Officers using GPS tracking devices fired directly at the rear of the suspect's vehicle to aid in controlling the pursuit. Authorities repeatedly closed in, repeatedly maneuvering the pickup truck's rear and ordering the driver to stop. But the noteworthy point wasn't just the speed, but how the chase escalated. Despite the GPS tracking, the pursuit continued at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour in the city center on wet roads. Camera footage showed both sides repeatedly running red lights with almost no reduction in speed, an extremely dangerous situation. As ASP officers attempted to close in and end the chase, the situation became more chaotic than anticipated. A patrol car was involved in a collision while attempting a pit maneuver, while the suspect's pickup truck continued to speed away despite the impact. The moment the last vehicle lost control, all the timber in the back was flung across the road, turning the scene into a chaotic mess amid sirens blaring and debris flying everywhere.
All units 1063, 1033. Copy, Julia.
Unlike many other chases that focus solely on apprehension, this incident continued to spark intense controversy after the video was released. Many questioned whether the suspect's behavior truly warranted such a dangerous pursuit, especially given the pre-installed GPS device on the vehicle. Some argued that the police were overly aggressive given the slippery road conditions and heavy traffic, while others defended the ASP's decision due to the suspect's reckless behavior on the street. This made the incident more than just a high-speed chase. It also sparked a major debate about the line between public safety and law enforcement tactics. At approximately 10:27 a.m., on the 15th of March 2026, the Florida Highway Patrol received an emergency request for assistance from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office regarding a serious assault suspect fleeing in a silver Chevrolet Impala. Initial investigations indicated that the suspect, Rise Hill, allegedly used a firearm to strike victim Tasia Hill before fleeing the scene. As the Impala sped south on I-95 into Volusia County, Trooper Brandon Cano immediately deployed a mobile barrier to slow traffic and prepared to pursue the vehicle. The Impala sped past Trooper Cano at extremely high speed. Dashcam footage shows the vehicle repeatedly swerving between lanes on I-95 at speeds exceeding 125 miles per hour, narrowly avoiding several serious collisions. After exiting the highway at exit 260C, the suspect continued to run red lights at the intersection of US 92 and Tomoka Farms Road before turning onto Bellevue Avenue. This is when Trooper Cano performed his first PIT maneuver. The Impala spun violently clockwise and lost control, but shockingly, Rise Hill regained control and sped away as if nothing had happened. Low time. After the first pit stop, the chase continued for several more miles on Tomoka Farms Road. The Impala accelerated past 115 miles per hour, while Trooper Cano continued to hot on. Near the Taylor Road intersection, as the car slowed down to around 60 miles per hour, a second pit stop was attempted. This time, the Chevrolet spun counterclockwise several times before almost completely losing control. But even then, the suspect still managed to drive a few more miles before being forced to a complete stop. This stubbornness makes it one of the most difficult to end chases in the video. Not a mile.
Showing at Tomoka and Pioneer.
I need medical attention when you get a chance. Anytime I have to. Oh, shit.
When the felony stop procedure was implemented at 10:43 a.m., Rise Hill was pulled from his vehicle and handcuffed at the scene. During his arrest, he repeatedly complained of knee pain and tried to explain that he didn't have a gun, pleading with officers not to judge him based on his criminal past. However, a quick check of his records revealed that Hill was recently released from a prison sentence related to premeditated first-degree murder, did not possess a valid driver's license in the United States, and was a convicted criminal. Police also found a 9mm magazine containing 12 rounds and paper license plates in the vehicle that did not match the vehicle. After a lengthy chase on I-95 and Tomoka Farms Road, Hill was taken to the Volusia County Jail with felony charges from both the Florida Highway Patrol and Flagler County Sheriff's Office, concluding a chase where even 2 consecutive PITs were barely enough to stop suspect.
I'm Wally, my puppy right here. Okay. This one? Just strap one down there. Excuse me. Can I spit real quick? What? Thank you.